Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by English Mountain Spring Water. I was on the road last weekend and my hotel had some bottled water in my room. It was okay. Didn't taste clean, pure the way English Mountain Spring Water does. English Mountain Spring Water is just as nature intended, with zero aftertaste. Visit EnglishMountainH2O.com today to learn more about how you can try this water. They deliver to your home, they deliver to your office, they deliver in whatever sizes you're looking for, they deliver as often as you like. It's really a great company and a great water. English Mountain Spring Water, EnglishMountainH2O.com. All right. This past week, University of Tennessee Athletic Director Danny White announced 9 contract extensions. Some of these deals were done weeks and months ago, which we'll discuss in the next segment. But White announced them all at once, and you see the whole list of folks that got new deals. Rick Barnes and Kelly Harper both got 2-year extensions. They now go through the 2025-26 season. Harper's buyout now $1 million. Tennessee always doing good with the buyouts for people. But the big news is the deal with Vitello bumped from $600,000 a year up to $1.5 million. As you said, Josh, he's now making more than Philip Fulmer off the university. He's making his 1.4. He also got a nice pool of cash for his assistants. Really, basically what everyone was hoping for, of all fans. Vitello gets his deal, gets the pool for assistants, he signs. There's no deal yet in terms of in writing for the stadium upgrades, but that's kind of, I don't know that you could put that in writing, because you got to go through all kinds of commissions and who knows when you can start that. But there has to have been a promise already made that the facilities will be improved. Thoughts on Danny White getting all this stuff done? Starting with Vitello, but also the other 8 coaches who all got extensions.
Yeah, I think Danny White and Tennessee got done what needed to be done, and almost all the focus was on Tony Vitello and what would happen with him with his contract. And I think it was a matter of time, but I didn't even realize the level of concern that still existed until it was announced. But he was on Sports Talk, Tony Vitello was recently. I know the stadium came up, but he talked about being close to being done or agreed on some things. And it was a matter of time, but he wanted to be at Tennessee. He's going to be at Tennessee, and he's going to be paid handsomely to continue to coach.
I think he'd actually agreed to the money 3 weeks ago. I think that to be the case. He actually also said when we interviewed him more recently that he's the reason for the holdup on the stadium situation, because he just hadn't been around as much. There was focus on the draft, recruiting, etc. And so there are some renditions out there about what they're going to do third baseline, what they're going to do left field, maybe what they could do in the right field. He feels very comfortable that is going to happen, so I think there's some verbal agreements there. But he said he's the reason that there's been a holdup on that, because he hasn't been as available.
Well, that's good. And, you have people like, what's taking so long? Well, none of us know why it's taking so long. It's like the NCAA investigation. Why is this still dragging on? It may be for something we've not even thought of. So when people freak out that, how come this contract isn't done? Well, it's on the coach. He's busy with other things. So I think that's important for people to remember, and us in the media to remember.
And a lot of times you can have an agreement in principle. I mean, we've seen those fall apart, but I mean, you can have something. Yeah, I know. But you can have something, right, we're going to be able to work this out. And what his salary was like, what?
600.
Wasn't it like 680 at one time? Wasn't there like a COVID thing or something?
Well,
or was
bonuses,
it 600?
it was
600, it went down.
It went down from that. I mean, I wondered about announcing 9 at once.
Well, we'll get to that in the next segment. Don't jump ahead.
But we're glad, just glad that it got worked out and you're moving forward. And as I've said so many times, you've shown that you can reward success instead of having to pay for all of these failures.
2-year extensions for Rick Barnes and Kelly Harper. Thoughts? Reactions?
Yeah, I think just moving forward and
Your
continuing
response.
to show support. And actually with that full list, a lot of good things are happening at Tennessee. The attention is on football. Understandably so, it is for us as well, right? But with Rick Barnes and Kelly Harper, I think it's just more of a commitment to them to continue to move forward, not as much financially, just lengthen the contract, take it out to recruits.
The thing that's interesting with Barnes, if I remember this right, he was getting an annual raise of $250,000, and now it's been cut to $100,000 for the last 2 years of that deal. By the end of it, he's going to be at, what, $5.65 million, something like that?
Close to 6.
Yeah, close
That's
to 6.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And does it add a little bit of pressure on Kelly Harper, too? I mean, women's basketball could be a little bit more competitive, I would think, than what we've seen. I'm thinking a number 7 seed, even though you might have tied for 4th.
Of course, he's only had,
SEC.
what, this will be the third year?
Yeah, but
So-
I mean, this is to do something for me now, isn't it, at Tennessee? I mean, I'm
Cavaliers
serious.
turning up the heat on Kelly Harper.
Well, I mean,
she
you
got us
start
back to the
getting
tournament, but where's the Final Four?
Well, where's the $1 million buyout now? I mean, that adds something to it.
Chuck Cavaliers he's the fan on the panel. He and Bob Hodge are the fans. Wait, right there. Harper's on the hot seat. I can see it. I can see it through the Chuck's orange glasses. All right. Jimmy, thanks for being with us today. We'll see you. You're going down to SEC Media Days. People can hear you this week. We'll see you back here in a week or two. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Vince is going to come back out here, and we're going to talk about the fact what Chuck almost stepped on there. Why did Danny White wait to announce all these things at once? We'll talk about that. Come on back on the Sports Horse.